everyone, this is J.M.Wong. It has been such a long time since I did vlogging or even upload video. There's so much things happening right now, but yeah. So where I'm heading is Australia. So I'm heading to Australia. So I have been to Australia before, but because I went there for an exchange and I had host family and stuff, I didn't really have the chance to like wander around and like travel around Australia. Anyways, see you after the flight.
Melbourne, a city famous for its graffitis, beautiful coasts and beaches, spacious and gorgeous parks and gardens, but most importantly, the coffee. As a writer and bookworm myself, having coffee and going to cafes are very important parts of my life. It is where I could actually relax, calm down and do the things I truly love. So after getting off the plane, regardless of how exhausted and tired I was, I started my journey of seeking good cafes in Melbourne right away. Operator 25 is the first cafe I went to, and when I reached there it was morning and there's already a line with a lot of people looking for coffee and breakfast. Me and my friend ordered 2 dishes for breakfast and we felt so full after consuming them. It was so delicious, and my favorite would definitely be the French toast. The second cafe, which is actually a tea room, was discovered by my friend by accident when she was wandering the malls on her own. And when I got there, I understood why she was so drawn to it. When we finally got into a cafe, which is after waiting for at least half an hour because there was a long line, we got 1 piece of cake, just one for the 2 of us, because we just realized when we looked at the other tables, the cakes were really big in comparison to the ones we have in Hong Kong. Higher Ground is a cafe that you will always see in blog posts and websites about the top Melbourne cafes. And then you have the food. The food is definitely worth waiting. Yes, you must wait for it. There is a long line waiting to get into this cafe to taste its food and coffee. In one of the lanes that you will visit for its graffiti and art, you would find one hidden cafe. The most amazing thing about it is that when it serves its coffee and lattes, there's this beautiful coffee cup accompanied with it. I discovered Queen Street Rescue when I was trying to find one cafe where I could put down my book, you know, the places where like little free libraries and stuff. And then I discovered this cafe. It was a little bit hard to find it at first because it doesn't have a sign outside, but its name was printed on the door, and somehow it was under a hotel, so we didn't find it at first glance, but then we found it. A lot of people know about Black Star pastry because of its famous strawberry melon cake, and I was so glad that there was a branch in Melbourne and St Kilda's Beach, and it was just perfect having that there, because while I was enjoying my day at the beach, I could also have delicious melon cake there. Other than Black Star Pastry, I must say Republica is definitely another cafe slash restaurant you must go, because for a restaurant or cafe that is so near to the sea with just amazing views, it has quite a reasonable price for its food, and don't worry, it tastes really good and you will feel very full after eating them. If you plan to go to the Rose Street Artist Market, remember to check out the Young Blood's Diner as well. It is a cafe that looks like a greenhouse, I must say, and it feels so calm with all the plants and whiteness around you, and of course the food is definitely awesome, so do check it out. Aside from Young Blood's Diner, you can also go to Industry Beans, which is another cafe near Rose Street Artist Market. Here I got the dessert called Summer and also cold chocolate.
Oh my god.
If you have the habit of scrolling through Instagram feed looking for the best cafes in the city, you might somehow come across Highness 4 cafes in Melbourne. It is not just perfect because of its luxurious looking food where you feel so guilty after consuming yet very satisfied. It's also the combination, the utensils, accessories, they put so much thought into it, the colors, the combinations, and also they have this new addition, the flowery wall, where you get to take beautiful pictures in front of it. This is one of the cafes that you want to stay, but you can't because there's just so many people unless you went there like in a very early morning. If you have never tried having candy floss on top of your hot chocolate, you would definitely have to check this out. You might take a while for you to get a seat because there's always a long line in front of Hash Specialty Coffee, but still it's worth it. I would say its food and drinks are very experimental, combining things you have never heard of before together and making it taste good is kind of its style. Aside from having coffee, I wanted to know how coffee is being made. So I joined my very first Airbnb experience where I went to a coffee making workshop at a hidden cafe called Side Street Cafe.
Yep. Keep going, quicker, keep going. Yep, stop. Good. Now high. Yeah, about there you go. In one spot. Keep going.
At one spot, it doesn't make any difference whether corner or center.
No, well, I'd do it near the rim.
Near the
Because
rim.
what happens if you're pouring and then you get a big blob come out, if you pour and then you hit that spot, the blob will fold underneath. Alright? Because you don't want a big blob there. Not really.
Last but not least, takeaway coffee cups. Cafe is not the only place where you can enjoy coffee and read and write. Sometimes there are better places like in parks and gardens or on beaches, but then you want to enjoy a coffee. What can you do? Well, grab a coffee, take away, and perhaps find a relaxing place to sit and enjoy. And during this trip, I did a lot of this, and somehow I have a collection of all the beautiful takeaway coffee cups that I've collected throughout this trip, and I am so glad that I have develop a new interest and discover something new. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my journey of seeking good coffees and cafe in Melbourne. Hi, thank you for watching this vlog, and if you like this vlog, remember to give a big thumbs up and to subscribe, and of course to comment below about my experience here and what you think about it. And yeah, well, let's end this video by saying remember to stop existing, start living, and be alive. Bye!